Hi there, and thank you for clicking on this video. Now, with the title of this video, I don't want it to imply that I never subtract exponents because sometimes that is the best way to simplify a problem. But I tell my students I don't like subtracting exponents, so I will avoid it if I have another way to do a problem. Now, take for example the problem in the green here where you might be asked to simplify this. Well, one of the ways you can do that is to recognize that we can subtract the exponents. So we do 3 minus 7. 3 minus 7 gives us -4, and then we have to kick that -4 down into the denominators to get x to the fourth. So we get 2 over x to the fourth. Now, if I were to do this problem, and I would do this in my head. So I'm going to kind of put like thought bubbles here. All right. Like so in my head, I would do this. I would say, okay, I've got 3 x's in the numerator and I have 7 x's in the denominator. And a bunch of those x's are going to cancel out. And then I ask myself 2 questions. How many x's are left over after I have canceled them out? Well, the answer is 4. And then the second question is, where are the extra x's? Well, they are in the denominator. Therefore, I have the 2, and then I have the 4 extra x's in the denominator, and I never have to go through the subtracting of the exponents. Now, the problem in the yellow on the right is one that involves a negative exponent, and I strongly discourage my students from subtracting exponents because of the mess that the signs can cause here, where you would have x to the -7th, and then we would subtract the exponent. So instead of 3 minus 7, which we had in the green problem, now we have 3 minus -7, which a bunch of people are going to forget. 3 minus -7 is just an awful way of writing 3 plus 7, and we end up with 2x to the 10th. What I would do in this problem instead is remember what it means to have a negative exponent. And I would say, okay, well, that negative exponent, we can rehome that in the numerator, and that would give us 2x to the third, and then we would move that x to the 7th up to the numerator. And now I can engage my property, which says I would just add the exponents here to x to the 3 plus 7 and get 2x to the 10th that way. So by avoiding the subtraction in the first one, I avoid a detour through a negative exponent that I did not want. By avoiding it in the second problem, I can avoid subtracting negatives and the sign errors that come with it. Is it possible to always avoid subtracting exponents? No, but if you can, here are some alternatives to it.